All right, what's going on, dudes? And welcome back to Minecraft. I'm assuming the majority of you are aware that in the latest snapshot, Mojang introduced these new terracotta blocks. You can get them from smelting stained clay. If you're like, no, I have no idea. These look really cool, though. You can always go watch the snapshot video I did. It'll be linked in the description. But I thought it'd be fun to try to make some cool patterns out of these because, well, I'm sure you're all aware. You can do kind of easy patterns just by going and putting the blocks down like that, easy enough to make something out of the same type of block. But you can do some cool combinations with various ones sort of in the same pattern. So if you lay all the blocks out and you look at ones for similar color schemes, shared colors, shared sort of pattern designs, you can kind of try to use those to your advantage to make some cool intertwined different block patterns and stuff. So I laid out a few of them. It actually took a while to figure these out. So feel free to take inspiration from me, the world's greatest designer, which I'm not at all. This took me way longer than it probably should have for a more creative-minded individual. But here, we'll go over some of the things I came up with. So when it comes to, you have the lime glazed one and the yellow. They share the yellow elements here, and so I was like, okay, we can probably tie the two together because they'll kind of blend in. And so I tried to intertwine them, and it seems like it worked. It's one where you kind of have to, it's not really tileable. It kind of emerges from the center point, and then you have to keep on bringing it outward from there, but it's certainly possible to expand it. But you know, when you look, the thing that I was going for is that, like, when you look at it from higher up, the goal is that the blocks kind of appear to merge together to where you wouldn't even know exactly where the blocks that you place down are located. It kind of just looks like one smooth grid. I don't know if I accomplished that, but it seems all right. Let's move on to another one over here, which you might think is an unlikely combo between the green and white, and then you have the brown and blue over here, except they kind of have, you'll notice that with these circles here, right, it kind of shares those elements to where this links into that, right? And so when you look at it from higher up, all those kind of designs start to blend together. So even though you have the different colors, I at least kind of think that it looks fairly natural. And this is the green and the brown. And kudos to the people of Mojang who did these textures, because I have to imagine that they planned a lot of this out so that you could combine these and that they'd still work in this really cool tileable fashion. It's actually pretty complex stuff when you think about it. All right, we'll move on to another one over here, which you would also think kind of an unlikely combo. But because of the designs, it's able to merge together, right? Because you have these loops here that blend into these loops, and you still have the white elements on the green one, and this is the light gray, and then you have the white elements on the light gray, obviously, and it's still able to sort of tile together. Again, this one starts at the center and sort of emerges out, and so you have to scale it as it goes out, but still, it's certainly doable. But again, it seems to work well enough. In that the design elements blend together, and even though you have different colors, it still works out. All right, let's move over to this one over here, which I think it uses the white, uses the orange, and it uses the light blue. Now I'm just going to clear my inventory. And it starts with just the white in the middle, doing this little sun pattern thing. You can also do it so it forms arrows if you do it the other way with the white one. And then because these all share the blue elements, they can blend together pretty nicely, even though we've got 3 different kinds of blocks in here. And you can just, again, keep on sort of bringing it outwards. The way that I made these is I sort of, once I got like the center element done, because these all start with a center element, so I get like that in. This is the arrow version. And then because it's very hard to keep straight, like how to get it so they're staying oriented the same when you're on different sides of the whole thing, I'd kind of go around and do like this sort of thing. Yes, I know what it looks like. Okay, I'm aware. But it's simply the easiest way to sort of get the thing done. And then you're like, oh, if you want to do that, okay, so you do that, and then you kind of just keep on bringing it around and just tile the whole thing out that way. that's sort of how I found it to be the easiest. If it's really easy for you to keep the orientation of the block straight, then by all means, good on you. But I have a hard time doing that. This one is the only one that's like really straight up tiled, but because these share the colors and some of the design elements as well, like you'll see these pink elements kind of merge together here and here, and it still works. Like you get this shape, which is composed of 4 blocks, but it still looks like one continuous thing. And it just, works as a nice pattern. This one, obviously, really, really easy to just repeat. You don't have to think about, okay, how am I going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger? You just keep on making it. Okay, we'll move on over to another one, which is, again, you're like, whoa, these is a lot of different colors to go by here. We got the cyan, the brown, and the light gray, but they share colors, and they also sort of share design elements in that this circle merges together here. This kind of works over here, and then the colors tie it together. So it seems to work. I don't know. I liked it. So I was like, all right. After a few minutes of messing around with it, I'll stick with it. And then last but not least, this one's kind of pretty much tileable. You could bring this out to like over here, and I wanted to make one that sort of incorporated the black and the red and the gray, because these were all pretty colorful. But I figured we could try to do something over here. I found it's really hard to really tie the black one into any of the others super well. It's a little bit iffy, but it kind of works. And see, these share those that little square kind of element there, so it ties into each other. And I just like to try to get it so that the lines sort of match up at least a little bit. And so you can work with a lot of different colors in the same design, keeping that in mind. Anyway, so that was just 7 different patterns that I laid out with the terracotta blocks. Hopefully you didn't find them absolutely horrendous. And it did take a while to try to map them all out, especially because I just get completely mixed up trying to maintain all the orientations going around. Because what you want to do is you want to like place something on a diagonal, but that's not how it works. You have to place it straight on, and so it confuses me. But I'm sure you guys out there are probably better at it. So anyway, hopefully you liked it. Just some ideas for you. There you get a nice view. Even that little one, that could be a starting point for you. So anyway, that's that. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like if you liked. You can check out the update video if you want. Have it linked in the description. And that'll be it for now. I'll see you next time.